Hi everybody, School Resource Officer Aaron Gilman here. One thing about a school resource officer is we like to have relationships with our students and provide education. So today, myself and my two fellow school resource officers, Officer Beth Kidwell and Officer Rob Rush, are going to talk to you for a few minutes about school bus safety.
It's been 5 long months since we had the buses out on the roadways, and some of us might be out of practice. So we wanted to be here for you to give you a reminder on what they look like, how they function on the roadways, and how to keep our children safe.
And to keep our kids safe, it takes all of us to do our part.
A school bus, it's big, it's yellow, and it's covered in lights. The first light you might see is the strobe light that's located at the rear of the bus. This white strobe light is only active when the bus is in its route and it's loaded with kids. So obviously there's precious cargo on board. The other time you might see that light illuminated are times of inclement weather. So whether we have low fog or heavy snow or even rain that's in our area, that light might be active on the bus. The next set of lights on the bus are the yellow lights on the bulkhead above where the driver sits. What these yellow lights indicate is that the bus is getting ready to make a stop. In talking with our drivers, they tell me that that stop is going to happen anywhere between 200 to 250 feet from the time that they activate those lights. So when you see those lights come on, that is your time to slow down and prepare for that bus to stop. The flashing headlights are for added visibility on the bus when it's coming your way. But the most important lights you can see back up on the bulkhead. Those are the red lights that indicate the bus is coming to a stop. The other important indicator are the stop arms that come out on the side of the bus. One thing to know is when you see the red flashing lights on top and the stop arms extended and illuminated, that bus has come to a complete stop and its doors have now opened in preparation for our student to safely cross the street.
Now that we've seen all the safety features of the school bus, let's talk to you drivers and your responsibility and roles on the roadway. When coming to a stop for a school bus, be sure that you stop at an appropriate distance, approximately 2 car lengths away, either from the front or the rear of the bus. The average bus stop takes 30 to 45 seconds from amber lights to wheels moving again. We've talked about where to stop. Now let's talk about when to stop. On a 2-lane road, when the bus has made a complete stop, the red lights are flashing and the stop arm is out, vehicles traveling in both directions must stop. On a multi-lane roadway with a paved median, vehicles traveling in both directions must stop. On a divided highway with multiple lanes, with an unpaved median or a barrier, vehicles behind the bus must stop. Vehicles traveling in the opposite direction proceed with caution.
All right, kids and parents, now we're going to talk about your rules and responsibilities for when we get on the bus. So the first thing we need to make sure we do when we get to the bus stop, one, we need to be at the bus stop on time, because it's safer to be there on time waiting for the bus than it is to be running down the sidewalk trying to catch up to the bus. So once we get to our bus stop, the first thing we're going to do, we need to make sure that we are 3 giant steps. So 1, 2, 3 giant steps away from that bus to make sure that we have enough distance for it safely to get on. So when the bus pulls up to your bus stops, there may be 2 different ways in which you're going to have to board the bus. The first one we're going to talk about is when the bus pulls up directly in front of you where you do not have to cross the road. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to make eye contact with the bus driver. Once we make eye contact with the bus driver and he makes sure that all the cars are stopped for the red lights, he's going to wave us on so it's safe for us to board the bus. And the second way that we may have to get on the bus is when the bus is across the roadway and we have to cross all the way across the roadway. So the first thing again we're going to do is we're going to make sure that all the cars coming from our left and our right have stopped. Once they've stopped, we're going to make eye contact with our bus driver and wait for the bus driver to wave us on. Okay, so the bus driver's waved us on. It's now possibly safe to cross the roadway, but we're still going to check left, right, and left as we cross the roadway to make sure that everybody stays stopped. We want to make sure that we walk far enough in front of the bus so 1, the driver can see us, and 2, we're out in front of the crossing gate to make sure that our bus driver sees us when we get on the bus. So after we've given the okay to get on the bus, first thing we're going to do is got to make sure we have our masks on, and we're going to come to the bus. And once we get on the bus, we're going to find our assigned seat. So I'm going to come back. Oh, this is my assigned seat. And I'm going to sit down. So once we find our assigned seats, we're going to sit on our back pockets. We're going to stay seated. We're going to talk quietly. We're going to keep our hands and feet to ourselves. And we're going to follow all the directions that our bus driver gives us.
Riding a school bus is actually one of the safest forms of travel on the roadway today, but we all must do our part.
Drivers, slow down when you see the amber lights and make a complete stop when you see the stop arm.
So parents, get your kids to the bus stop on time. Kids, make sure you board the bus safely. And if everybody does this, we'll have a successful school year.
Stop for these lights.
Or get stopped by these lights.
So we don't have to see these lights.